You ruined your curtains. You pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Sleep pissed.
Yeah, sleep pissed all over the curtains. Welcome back to Podcast The Hero. This is the first
episode
of what I hope will be several things that we're calling Fannysodes. I have brought together a group of people that I know from the Protest the Hero Discord channel. And we're going to talk about PTH. So, Rody, my normal co-host, he's gone. He went to Quebec. It's good fishing in Quebec. He went to Quebec to play a concert with Lamb of God or something.
Is that who they played with?
Oh, with former PTH drummer.
Who's not
he's
in
not-
Lamb
he's
of
not-
God
He's not even
anymore.
in the band anymore.
Oh.
Low blow.
They played that, what is it, it's Summer Festival or whatever in Quebec. It's like a 10-day festival, like Foo Fighters, Green Day, Lamb of God. Who else was in it?
Protest
There's a lot
the
of
Hero.
people. A lot of people. And a lot of French bands.
Gojira.
Was it Gojira? I don't think Gojira played.
I don't know, but they're not French Canadian, so.
No, but there was a lot of French Canadian bands. I think the people that they're the band that they played with, on the same stage as them that played before them was an actual French band. But yeah, so he's out of town. So I thought I would bring together these people. So we have Muskie. Wave to everybody, Muskie. Okay. We have the Lord Guitar Horse. And we have High Tops. Is the other guy. And so here's how we know each other. When Rody used to stream on Twitch, he had a Discord channel. We all used to hang out in the Discord channel, watch the Twitch streams, and that's how we met, is just sort of hanging out. And then we have, like most weekends, we have like voice chat in Discord where we all hang out and just shoot the shit or play games or watch movies and do all kinds of stuff and hang out. We've all met in real life. Because of this band. We're from, a couple of these people are from Canada. A couple of these people are from America. And we've all met because
Funny
of this
enough,
band.
you guys are in the same state.
Yeah, we
and
are.
We're in the same we're in the same province.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah. You are.
Yeah,
Two Michiganders and two Ontariites. What are people from Ontario called?
Ontarians, I think. I don't fucking know.
Yeah, Ontarians.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
the rest of Canada hates us, so we're just we're called the worst. We're the scum of Canada.
I mean, I hate Ontarians too, so that's fine.
It's fair.
So, this is the first Fanisode. We're going to do, I think, more of these, and hopefully Rody will participate in some of these in the future, where we just get folks from the Discord to come in and hang out with us and shoot the shit and talk about PTH. So that's the plan. I do have a question, and I think like we're going to round table this thing around. But
It's like a nice
want to
break.
talk about first show, best show, but PTH show. I personally did not see PTH until the year 2022. My first PTH show was in 2022 in Edmonton, Alberta. Right? Edmonton's Alberta, right?
That would be correct. Unfortunately,
It's not in Saskatchewan or...
Nothing's in Saskatchewan.
Yeah, Medicine Hat is.
No, that's Alberta, I believe, isn't it?
No.
Regina.
Regina.
Saskatoon.
Saskatoon,
Moosomin?
Saskatchewan?
Moosomin's in Saskatchewan.
Moose Jaw.
Manitoba.
Medicine Hat's in Alberta. Damn it.
Don't you dare fucking correct me.
I know. I'm sorry. You're my elder. I should respect
And then
you.
I saw them again in Toronto. Is that still was that this year or last year?
That was 2022.
No.
Yeah, because I was living in the Arctic at that point.
Oh.
There was no. You saw them in London with me.
There was in Toronto. That's
Oh,
when
I
he,
didn't see them
blowed
in
his
Toronto.
voice.
I saw them in London with
had COVID.
you.
Yeah,
you had
Fritzy
COVID.
missed.
I
He missed
missed
that show.
Toronto show.
No,
Yeah.
Fritzy didn't have COVID.
Jenny had COVID.
Jenny had COVID. So I only have 2 shows, right, to choose from.
Which one's the best?
Okay, so first show obviously was Edmonton. The atmosphere was awesome, right? Like it was my first time meeting them in person. It was my first time like meeting a lot of people from the Discord in person. There was quite a few people there. We got to all hang out and do stuff, and like it was a very cool atmosphere. The venue was super cool, and there were a lot of awesome bands playing at that event, that festival. So that was awesome. But the show in London, like the quality of like the sound and the band had definitely like I think it was more a higher production value. It felt like at that show in London than in the show at the show in Edmonton. I mean, they had their own sound guy with them in London. They had their own sound guy, or they had their own light guy in London. So like the lighting was cool in London. The sound was fantastic. So I think like first show, best show, Edmonton first show was fantastic for a lot of reasons, but just musically and performance wise, I think the London show was the best for me. I don't have like, I feel kind of bummed that I didn't get to see them like Fortress X and before, you know what I mean? Like it would have been sweet to fucking see them on that Clarity cycle or on the Volition cycle. You know, it would have been like, I would have loved to have seen them back then. I was reading some interviews earlier about Rody and like interviews with Rody, and the interviews were talking about how he was on stage when he was 22, and like he's definitely grown up a lot for sure.
He's no longer a child.
Yeah. And
Well,
but it
so
would have
that-
been funny to see him like that.
I can speak to that because I still have never met Rody, but I was active in the music scene around the same time these young kids were coming up. So there was legend of the youngsters who what do you I don't want to say that there is
Just fucking say it. They're assholes.
well, no, not really.
Rowdy.
Not really. No, but I don't think anyone said they were assholes, but it was sort of like, you never know. Some shit could happen if they were around. There was basically me, who had no connection to them really at all, was aware of who they were without ever seeing or hearing them or anything, so that says something.
Just that reputation.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah, I wish I was
And
a fan.
I've said that to them. They know that. It's weird that I never ever crossed paths. The closest I came was I played the same festival as them, just on a different day. So I never actually crossed paths. So a lot of the same bands that they know, friends of theirs, like Dan in the Mystery League, I stayed at his house when I was touring with. I did a tour with the Fully Down.
Yeah.
So I stayed at Dan's house, and so like Mike and George and those guys, I know all them. So it's just kind of a weird coincidence. I never actually came across PTH themselves.
Yeah, that is weird. Because, like, Ontario at that time, or, like, the GTA, was, like, there were a lot of bands coming out of that area, right? At
Flatliners at that time were coming up around the same time, yeah.
Yeah.
I played a ton with
Alexis.
them, yeah.
Alexis on Fire was big at the same time as well.
both Alexis and same with PTH, because they all sort of got success pretty quickly. So they kind of, the clubs that we were all playing, they kind of jumped past us all really fast.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I can tell you, most of us weren't opening for Metallica or Korn or anything like that.
Well, I'm sure. I think if you asked Rody today, he'd be like, "I wish we hadn't opened for Korn." But you do what you got to do. So what was your first PTH show? Do you remember?
High Tops.
Sure, I'll jump in on it. So my first one was also 2022. It was the one that you were supposed to be at in Toronto. It was, so my first show was the show where Rody came out, sang one song, said, "Fuck you all, you're not worth my time," threw down the mic and left. That's how I remember it happening. I might be getting the story slightly off, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So that was no, for real though. Obviously, Rody's voice blew out, and so he and it was funny before we knew that. So the first song on that tour was "Migrant Mother," and which is that it's got some pretty high notes, right? So he did his best on it, and I was sitting with Mushy, who's another member of our community, and I just kind of jokingly was, "Whew, I don't know if he hit all those notes, And then of course he said voice blow. I was like, "Oh, never mind. I kind of feel shitty about that now." But it turned out though, it's one of those shows where I'm sure he didn't love having to watch it from the side, but it's kind of gone down in legend now because I've seen it talked about like on their the PTH Reddit and that sort of thing. People have mentioned this show that didn't have a singer where the band just had to play instrumental and all the crowd sang and everything. So it actually, looking back now, is kind of cool to have been at that because it's never really going to happen again.
Yeah.
So it was actually kind of neat to be at that show and kind of experience that weird thing.
Yeah.
And I sent him a message afterwards and just kind of said, like, "Hey, man, don't even, like, everyone had a great time, man. I'm telling you, the crowd was hot. Everyone was singing their ass off. Like, don't even worry about it." And he came and so I said, my second show was just the next night.
Yeah.
They came and played London, and he did sing the show. And he was fighting it a little bit, but he got through it and everything, and that went great. But that Toronto show was just that kind of weird magic that it's like, it's a memorable one. For what happened,
Yeah, for sure. I think there were a lot of people from the community because everybody was sort of like trying to work it out so that everybody could get together for that show. And I think a lot of people traveled from far and wide to come to that show, and I think they all got to be a part of something that is like. The closest thing I could equate it to would be like if people were at that show, like the Mist show, right? When when the drum riser fell and everybody grabbed it and held Mo up and all that stuff. Like it's sort of that equivalent level of like that experience in the lore of the band.
But because it was Toronto, instead of calling it Mist, it'll be called Smog.
Yeah, smog.
Right. And I'll go into, just because I've only seen them 3 times, so my best show would actually be the same one as yours, Fritz, was the London show, because, like you said, the sound was really dialed in. They performed really, really well. And honestly, as far as just for myself, it was great because basically you and me and Jenny just hung out the whole night.
Yeah.
So it was kind of cool. Like, as much as it's awesome when the whole community's there, but at the same time, it was kind of neat just being like, you know what? I'm just hanging with Fritzy for tonight.
Yeah.
And we were standing there. We were singing our ass off for a bunch of it. We were just kind of having fun. And I mean, I mentioned this to you. I left myself with a bit of regret because so you and Jenny were heading backstage, and you were chatting away with Ben, and you asked him. He said, "Oh, is it cool? He just comes back with us." And of course, Ben was like, "Yeah, no problem." And of course, I got shy and was like, "Oh, no, don't worry about it." And I left, and now I'm left with this. I'll just have to live with this regret forever. I could have had this cool experience. I could have gone backstage and hung out with everyone, and I could have met them all and just had this super chill, fun thing. And I got in my own head and didn't do it. So now I have to live with that. So my best show, my favorite show that I've been to, is also one tainted with a bunch of regret. So it is what it is. But
you could have hung out and hung out while Jenny and Tim talked about their love of spreadsheets. That's like how rock star it was backstage after that show. Jenny and Tim were just like talking about how much they love spreadsheets and like. It just like,
see, the thing is, you know, they say
so
like
weird.
You got to be careful when you meet your heroes, right? Because you can be disappointed by your heroes. So I was worried that when he met me, Rody would be really disappointed by me. Like, I didn't want to feel like I had to put something on for him, and he'd be really upset and be like, this guy doesn't live up to the hype, you know? So
that's fucking amazing.
I was just a little worried. So it was more for Chode's protection.
Yeah.
That I was like, you know what? I don't want to ruin this for him. The mystique of who I am.
Yeah.
You know, so I did him a favor on that one.
Yep.
I was gonna say I have the same scenario as you, where the best show that I went to is also tainted by something.
Yes. Are you gonna tell you?
Which has been mentioned.
Yourself?
It's been mentioned on the podcast. No. That's what I'm saying is that it's been tainted.
Yeah.
I've seen him 4 times. It'll be 7 times by the end of this year.
Yeah.
But like I'm a very new Protest fan.
You're a very new human. Let's be honest.
I'm a baby. Yeah. You guys are all old fucks, and I'm just sitting here in my 20s. Yeah. It's fucking weird. But no, like the first time I saw Protest is like really the time I discovered them. The guitar player in my band, he was a big Coheed guy. He was also a pretty big Protest guy. And I knew both of those bands. I knew of them because of him. And I saw a post on Facebook one day, they were on tour together. So I was like, fuck, let's go see them. Like, I'm cool. Let's go to a concert together. So he's like, yeah, fuck, I'm in. So that was 2018. And I didn't listen to Protest a single time. I think my buddy may have played Sequoia Throne for me. And I was like, that fucking sucks. Like, this sounds like shit.
You suck.
Listen, so at this time, I'm very much in my Linkin Park, Foo Fighters, Red Hot Chili Peppers shit, right? Like your generic rock music. That's
See, I was right. You do suck.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I was kind of just starting to branch out into different kind of subgenres of metal, but I was still very much, you know, your bland, whatever you want to call it. So we went to the show, a band called Crownlands, who mutual friends with. They opened, and then Protest came on, and immediately they started. I'm like, oh fuck, this is pretty cool. And then they played Blood Meat, and that vocalization that the entire fucking crowd does. I started just being like, holy shit, this is fucking incredible, right? So I loved it, absolutely loved it. I was like, this is awesome. I didn't know any of the songs. They played Mist, which was incredible, seeing that live as well. I was like, this is the shit. Immediately the next day, I'm like getting all their shit on Spotify, immediately listening to it, and fell in love at that point. And then I then saw them. I didn't see them again until this year. I saw them 3 times so far this year. So first show, Toronto, 2018. I was at Rebel. Best show would be the second time I saw them, and that was at the Moose and Goose in Thorold on their little 401 tour they just did.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to stand right at the stage. It was packed. It was rowdy. Sounded great. Fucked up some lyrics. Embarrassed the shit out of myself. Rody's told this story now several times on the podcast.
Yep.
And it was just I don't want to say I fucked it up, because at least I got the melody right. I sang the melody, but it was during Clarity.
Head. What song was it, Muskie? What
Clarity.
song was it?
It was Clarity.
Oh, okay.
So Rody, like, they're singing, I'm kind of like in my own zone, right? Like, I'm just fucking living my own world. Like, I'm just vibing to the shit. Not even like looking, to be honest. Like, I think my eyes are closed or something. And it gets to the part where it's like a saucer ship will separate. We'll separate. And Rody's singing that, and he's looking at me. And I kind of make eye contact, and I could see he's coming up to me. And I'm like, no. Like, don't fucking do it, man. Like, don't do it. So he starts singing the second part. Like, armaments will suffocate. And he shoves the mic in my mouth, and I just panic, and I go, separate. Like, during the second part. I'm like, fuck, that's not the lyric. What are you doing? So I'm like, at that point, I'm shut down. I'm like, fuck, man. Like, of course, I sang the wrong fucking thing. Like, shoved the mic in my mouth, sang it for everyone. Again, I got the melody right. Like, there's no problem with that. It's just I sang the wrong word.
Yeah.
And so that bugged me. And then, like, a couple days later, they were playing Guelph. They were playing back-to-back nights in Guelph. And so I went up to Guelph with Ashwin, who's a community member. He came out from all the way from Houston, Texas. He flew up, and then our friend Fruit, also from the Discord, she came. So the first night in Guelph was a great time. I had a blast. Jeff and Lish came. Bunny Q was there. So a bunch of people from the Discord. We all met up in Guelph. Got shit-faced. But we were at a bar. I forget what it's called. I think not McKibben's. That's Montreal. We were at a bar in Guelph, and Rody walks in with the rest of the band, and we interact with each other. And the first thing I go is, "Man, I'm sorry for fucking up Clarity. Like, I don't know what I was doing." He's like, "Man, I don't even know the own lyrics to my shit," right? So it was cool. Like, that was my first like actual interaction with him after, because at the Thorold show, I kind of talked to Tim a little bit before the show, and then Rody kind of gave me a hug at the end of the show, gave me the set list, and that was it. No real interaction other than that. So getting to speak with Rody before the Guelph show was cool, and then the Guelph show was fantastic. Rowdy again. No stage, which was fucked up.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
And there's a massive pillar right in the middle, like right where, like the middle of where they're set up. There's just a pillar, and people are getting rowdy. So like, there's photos. Watermark Missing posted these photos. You could see Lish holding onto the pillar for dear life, so that she didn't get smashed into it. So it was really rowdy that night. And then the second night in Guelph, we kind of stood off to the side of the stage against the wall. It was less rowdy that night because they finally had a security guard who was kind of like, it was kind of sucked. It was like a great show, like they sounded fantastic, but like the vibes weren't the same because the security guard was kind of like, "Calm down, everyone, calm down." But the second show, Rody came up to me. Clarity is on. I'm living my own world. I'm not paying real much attention, and all I see is Rody doing this to me. I'm like, "Oh fuck, here he comes." So I do the same thing to him, and he comes, and I'm like, "All right, Ty, or Muskie." I guess I just said my own fucking name there.
That's all right.
I knew it was coming that time, so he came up, and he got me to sing both parts that time, so I got to redeem myself. So I'm glad with that, but the Thorold show where I fucked it up was definitely, I think, my favorite show. Just the sound was awesome, the crowd was awesome. My buddy's band opened up for Protest. Rody actually features on one of their songs, which they ended up playing at the show. It was a really good time. Really good time.
I don't know. If I were you, I would have sung the wrong lyrics again.
Muskie, it was actually it was your first and your best show, not every show you've been to.
What? Yo, my pea brain can't understand what you just said there.
I said you're supposed to be answering your first and your best show, not every show.
Yeah, not every show. It's like, well, I went to this show, and then this show, and then this show.
You're right, but that's not fair because
it's part of the story. It's part of the
Fritzy
story.
have only gone to 2 shows, so like you've both said you're all the shows you've been to as well. So fuck you. Now we've all said all our shows.
So
but guess what? I want to see them 3 more times this year, so I'll say those ones as well.
I really think you should have sang the wrong lyrics the second time on purpose. Like, just like on purpose, just sang it backwards, like flip the 2 phrases or something.
Just as off key as possible.
Just to own it. And just be
that's
like,
the tough thing as well is you don't have in-ears, and the monitor isn't like, the monitor is facing them, not you. So when you're singing, you can't hear.
Oh no, yeah.
So he shows that mic, and I'm like, I'm trying to hit this fucking, not gonna lie, it's a difficult note. It's not, and I don't sing high at all.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's looking for perfection in that moment anyway.
I understand that, but no, you know what? You gotta make sure you do it good. You can't just be like fucking. You gotta have, what's his name, Jason Newsted, where you scream into the mic.
You gotta have that. What was the movie, the Mark Wahlberg movie where he becomes the lead singer of the band?
Rockstar.
Yeah, you gotta have that moment, right?
I had to have my protest moment, you know.
Clip clop, motherfucker. What's Tell me about you, Guitar Horse.
Yeah, so I've seen him twice. Once in 2010.
Oh.
That was when they were on tour for Scurrilous, and I saw him with Periphery and Jeff Loomis, and
fuck, dude.
can't remember the other band.
God damn, that's a shreddy show,
Right?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a really, really great show. So far as I can remember, it was a long ass time ago. Uh, but and that one was cool because like Hardip was still in the band, and
Yeah.
I got to see him, uh, and it was a small, intimate gig, and like all the bands and everybody was just like hanging out and mingling with the people. So I did get to like meet a few of the guys in passing, which was cool. I did get to meet, I did meet Rody. I was really excited about that going into. He's been one of my favorite vocalists for a
Yeah.
long time, and so I was like, I didn't want to. So I got up there and I didn't. I just fought the urge to fangirl out, and so I was just like, "Hey man, good show," and he was like, "Hey, thanks." And then there was this slight awkward pause, and we both well, the way, and then that was a really cool. Yeah, that was a sweet show. And then the other time I saw him was it was 2017 when they were on the Fortress
X.
the Fortress anniversary show.
Yeah.
So both shows were in Detroit.
St. Andrews?
Yeah, the Fortress show was at St. Andrews. The other one, I don't remember where it was. It was like some upstairs. An upstairs.
The
thing.
Magic Stick.
Is that what it is?
Probably.
Could be. But yeah, those shows were great. But I think the first one, the first one for me,
Yeah.
better. Because my biggest takeaway was fucking like I got the sense that Rody wanted to upset people, because he started. First, he was just shitting on the city of Detroit for not having a statue of RoboCop. Which
I thought it does have a statue of RoboCop.
It's not
there is
out.
now. There
They've
is now.
made it.
The man was finally fucking hurt. But so there was like a big, like, this was a tirade. Okay, this was a several minute long, just just like anger fueled, just trying to stir shit up. It was he wasn't angry, but I think he was trying to incite some form of outrage, because then he started shitting on the Red Wings.
Yeah.
And that, I think, got some actual like boos or some yells. But that right there, like that was the thing that I remember the most. Was just him trying to fight a few hundred people.
That's a pretty common thing
not
for.
Rody.
It's a pretty common thing for Toronto bands to do when they come to Detroit. Like the first time I saw the Flats, Chris just shat all over the Red Wings in Detroit. Like, well, we were in Lansing, but close enough, right? And he just talking so much shit about the Wings. That's kind of a thing, right? Toronto bands will come here and crap on us, which is fine. In my lifetime, we've won 3 Stanley Cups. I don't know how many Toronto's won in my lifetime, and I'm over 40 years old. So, they can talk trash all they want. It's all right. I just point at the scoreboard and move on.
Same. Habs have won at least a couple in my lifetime. Yeah. But the bulk of them not, but at least a few of them were.
Yeah.
2 of them were.
Yeah.
My lifetime.
I don't watch hockey, but I watch like mic'd up hockey officials or hockey refs.
That's really good.
Those videos on YouTube are pretty.
They're fantastic.
Pretty fucking fun.
You get Wes McCauley on the mic and it's fucking gold.
All right, I've got I've got this question for the round table. and this is since Rody's not here, we can talk about him. And this is a scenario. It's like one of those. It's not like a would you rather, but the scenario is this: if you could steal one trait of Rody's, like one thing about him, one skill he has, and I mean anything. It could be a physical trait. It could be, whatever it is. If you could steal one thing from him, what would it be? But keep in mind, if you steal it from him, it means he no longer has it.
I'm fine with that.
So like, if you could take something from him, what would you take? And knowing that he would never have it again.
Unemployment.
Unemployment?
Not having to work a corporate job for the rest of my life.
Oh, that's true.
With the support of music to help me and a hardworking wife.
Yeah.
But now Rody doesn't have Cage anymore, so sorry, Rody.
I take his teeth.
His teeth?
Yeah.
He's got good teeth?
Well, I don't know.
You just want them?
He just wants his teeth.
You just want them? I just want to have them. Keep them in a bowl next to my bed.
I was gonna say not for your mouth, just to have, right?
Yeah, I put him in a leather pouch and hang him around my neck. I don't know. I just think it's kind of funny imagining him with a mouthful of gums.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think it would be funny.
I think it'd be great.
I wonder how you'd sound singing.
Can
like
you
that.
sing? I feel like part of singing and
you can get dentures, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess he could. I mean, we didn't really talk about that in the rules, and I didn't really think anybody would want to steal his teeth. But I'm pretty sure, like certain things you push against your teeth with your tongue, right? When you're singing certain things, like your tongue and your teeth are part of that. Yeah. I wonder if he would sing.
Like a saucer ship will separate.
What will it do?
Separate.
Oh, wait, will it separate?
Yeah.
Separate. Suffocate.
Suffocate?
Yeah. Now imagine a toothless idiot barking that into a mic.
Yeah, great.
Listen, if I somehow get the mic in like Austin, Texas, or San Antonio when I go to see him, and he shoves the mic in my mouth to sing the song again, I will do it gumless. Teethless.
Teethless?
Not gumless. All gum.
How are you going to take all your teeth out?
Someone will knock them out. I'll just insult someone. Sure, it's not hard to do.
I've thought about it.
What, removing all your teeth?
What,
or
removing my
teeth? Punching Muskie's teeth
Did I
out.
insult
Punching
you?
Muskie. Punching Muskie, yeah.
I mean, the only time you ever been around me, I was heavily intoxicated, so that would be like hurting a child.
Not about
A
that.
defenseless child.
That just makes it even easier.
I think there was an interview I read where Rody was talking about how, like, this would have been like right after Keziah. They were super young, and there were a lot of like high school age kids at the shows, and they were in their 20s, and they always thought it was really cool when like they'd like talk to the parent who brought their kid to the show, who was like hanging out back at the bar, and like when the parent was like, you guys, like, I really liked your guys' music, like it was a great show, like they always felt like that was way better than like the 15-year-old kid that liked them. And then Rody went on to just like shit all over the fans that were like young kids, like how he hates them all and everything. It was a very funny interview.
He does hate all of us.
He
That's why
hates
he's not
everyone.
here tonight. That's why he's not here tonight.
Yeah,
He heard
does.
fan episode. He goes, "I'm fucking out. Fuck that."
There's a number of clips, and I think they're in the Discord. They're definitely on the Twitch channel. It's been a goal of mine to just get him to yell at me, and it's happened a few times.
Yeah.
He's told me to shut the fuck up a few times, and yeah, there's a great clip where he just finally just goes, "High Tops, shut the fuck up." And I know you're trying to get my goat, and you've nearly got it, and I'm watching and be like, "I think I got it."
Yeah, pretty sure I nailed it.
I think
right
I did
there.
get it. I think
Getting
I did
under
get it.
Rody's skin used to be pretty easy on Twitch streams.
Yeah.
Just fucking with him.
Yeah.
I miss those Twitch streams, man.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Those are fun.
So
what would you
Where
steal?
are they?
I was
Where
trying
the
to think about what I would steal. I definitely wouldn't
You didn't
steal
even think about that beforehand. You created
his
the question.
singing voice. Well, I thought about it a little.
Yeah, but he's got no teeth now.
I think it
Yeah,
would
he
be.
doesn't have any teeth or musical ability to support a career.
I think it would be his quick wit. Right?
Yeah, he's pretty
Like
witty.
he is, and he's funny, but
He's got jokes.
he's like real fast with a joke. I mean, and I don't know. I'm slow with a joke. He's quick with a joke. I'm slow with a joke. It takes me a minute to like make the words form in my mouth. And he's just and I think a lot of the people that I really admire the most in the world are people who are super quick-witted. Like my father-in-law is one of the most quick-witted human beings on earth, and like I really respect the hell out of him, and he's hilarious, and like that's a trait that I really wish I had. Like I could give a fuck about singing good. If I could make somebody laugh, that's always the best to me. So I think I would steal that, and then
that before?
then he'll be stuck fucking on stage with trying to tell jokes, and I know for a fact he honestly like will determine how good he felt his performance was by how good his jokes were. Like he's like, I fucked up the words to skies, whatever, but this joke fucking killed. You
Does he
know?
have a type
So
five?
like I'll take that. Yeah. And he can just stand up there and go, "Hey, how's it going, Detroit? This next song is off our new record. Okay, here we go." Like, I'd be fine with that. I'd be totally fine with it.
Yeah,
I think for shut the fuck up, Muskie.
fuck.
Hell yeah.
And I think for mine is simply I would want the Velociraptor EP to be mine, not his.
Yeah. Oh God, isn't it
I
brilliant?
love that so much. It is my favorite thing. I absolutely love it so much. And when it came out, I paid far too much for it because I love it so much. And I definitely still want to get the tattoo. I haven't got it yet.
Yeah.
Because I know Chode got it, and I'd mentioned it before, and he was like, yeah, cool, go for it. And then I kind of never got around to it. But I definitely want that. I love that thing so much. And I know it's a silly thing about dinosaur helicopters, but it means the world to me.
Yeah,
I love it.
it's
It was
amazing.
it was the kind of the first big thing I was around for creating and everything, and was able to kind of give input while he was because that was one of the really fun things about those streams when he was making music is he was taking suggestions from everyone and he was actually lit, and it wasn't just like, oh yeah that'd be cool. He was actually doing stuff that people would suggest. And so it was kind of cool, and it really kind of came about at a really nice time for me. It just means the world to me, so I would want that to be mine, not his.
I think that's great.
Do you wish that you got a feature on it instead of Fritzy?
Not instead of Fritzy. I just wish I was on a feature.
with Fritzy.
But remember, it ends with Jackson becomes the Skelecopter.
Yes.
And he mentions it's a whole new type of creature. So there's other Velociraptors floating around there.
Yeah.
So who knows? A sequel one day, you never know. And I'm shooting my shot. When that sequel happens, Chody, I would like to be a part of it. When the Velociraptor Cinematic Universe band gets together and starts playing and touring, I will be a part of that band. You bet your balls I will be in that, Rody.
That's amazing.
I'm trying to remember the exact origin of it. I know, like, I don't know if there's like some pre-origin to it, but it kind of became a meme in the Discord because when Protest released the lyric sheet for Palimpsest, it included Rody's notes. So one of the notes just had the drawing of the Velociraptor on it that said "fuck you."
Yeah.
And it kind of became a meme, like, what the fuck is this? And that's kind of how I grew into, like, the whole EP.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to think, is there more, like, origin to it than that? Or that kind of how it started? It was just everyone discovered this drawing that he randomly made on his notes for Palimpsest.
I mean, that
was kind of my impression, was just
that's
everyone
just
loved it so much. And people kept referencing it, and then he just said, fuck it, let's write a thing about it then.
Yeah.
I wish I saw
that was
my
kind of
book
my
on me
impression
right now, but I lent it to a buddy, so I don't even have it to look at.
I have
It's the fucking
It's
funniest shit
over
ever.
there. Yeah, it's fucking great. If you're
13-year-old
interested,
fucking loves it.
really, yeah,
Oh yeah, he's all about velocity.
that's fucking great. If you're interested in it, it's on Rody's Bandcamp.
It appeals to sixth graders, you know.
Yeah, it's on Rody's Bandcamp. So if you go to Bandcamp and just search for Rody Walker, there's a bunch of stuff on there. There's that.
It's on Spotify
Jesse
and stuff, too.
Is it on
Jesse in the
Spotify
fridge.
too?
It is on Spotify.
The Velocicopter EP is on Spotify. So, yeah, anyone, if you haven't listened to it, Tim plays on one of the songs. Fritzy himself sings on it. David, another community member, fucking shreds an amazing guitar solo on one of the songs.
Yep.
Yeah, he's an incredible guitar player. Yeah, David
And the
Lyon,
lyrics in
he's
general.
amazing, man. Yeah, the whole lyrics, everything's
The
great.
lyrics,
It's
Which was
really
created by
funny.
community
It's just a
members
lot
as
of
well.
fun. Yep. Yeah, everyone
Lot
was
of
kind of giving
contribution.
suggestions. It was great. Yeah.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it. Also, like the Twitch sessions record is out there on
Jesse in the
Bandcamp.
fridge.
There's
Jesse
quite a lot
in
of
the
them on,
fridge and the Merg
on
Paradox and
If you go to
Merg
Roadie's
Paradox.
TikTok, there's a lot of songs on his TikTok because he
Yeah.
would make videos too, and that's again he would be taking like the community, be telling him what to do in his TikTok videos.
Yeah.
So all those things, if anyone who follows him, if you see those things, that was a whole bunch of us. We're all giving suggestions, and he was doing things. And my crowning achievement is the Tobey Maguire song.
Oh my God.
The Tobey Maguire, I would let you spiderweb my teeth. That was my line. I'm so proud of that.
that is
I'm great line. I was kidding, and he fucking sang it anyway. I was not serious when I told him to sing that, and he did it anyway, and I love it so much
it
too.
is-
Rody will always
like,
call
perfect.
your bluff. He will always
Oh, yeah,
call your
yeah,
bluff,
yeah.
and he just says "fuck it." It's the funniest shit.
Yeah.
But I think the Merg paradox is a very important question that should be addressed on this podcast.
yeah.
We need people's honest, truthful opinions on how they feel about the Merg paradox.
Should we wait for Merg to be on the show?
I think,
That's
I
true.
think we should
Yeah.
let
I think Merg should be on
introduce
the
Merg
show.
Paradox. We'll do this again for sure. And
If you want to have some context
Yeah.
before the Merg
Listen
episode,
to
just
it.
listen to the song "The Merg Paradox" to kind of get an idea of what it is.
yeah, for sure,
We'll leave it at
100%.
that. But that whole, because I think when he posted what the Merg paradox was when Merg mentioned, I think was
Yeah.
it like a Twitch message or was
Yeah,
it
it was
in the
like a
Discord?
chat message or like a Discord message
that was read out
something.
on Twitch? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because
Like one of
Merg
those
used to
bit-
do
he
the
said
little
bits.
voice to text, submit the
Yeah.
bits and get the voice to text, and he would
Yeah.
write these very long, very well written, very like eloquent things that would
Sometimes
make the voice to text read, and it was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now is the time where we do trivia. It's a game. This is a trivia game
boy.
about the
I'm
band.
competitive, Fritzy. I don't like this.
It's competitive. I mean,
I'm too competitive.
Okay.
Is what I'm saying.
so
We might get into fights.
because Rody's not here, I decided to do PTH trivia about everybody except Rody. So these questions are about everybody except Rody. Well, I mean, really just Luke and Tim.
I don't know shit about anyone.
So
There's so much info.
I'm
about
not a
Luke
fan.
out
I
there.
don't even know why I'm on this podcast. I really don't give a shit about the band.
all right, so here's question number 1. Who inspired Luke to play guitar? Was it A, Eddie Van Halen, B, John Petrucci, C, John Denver, or D, Tim?
B. John Petrucci.
I was thinking John Petrucci as well.
I'm gonna go against the grain here and say fucking Tim did it.
Tim.
Tim beat him into submission.
I can
Basically,
see that. Yeah.
Tim started playing guitar first, and Luke got super jealous and thought Tim was so fucking cool that he decided
He just
that he
wanted to
wanted
be
to play
like him.
guitar too.
And they all pretty much use the same teacher as well.
Yeah. Yep. Like they all
Luke,
play
Rody
guitar.
also played
Rody,
guitar?
I want to say Mo. Yeah, Mo went to the same
Mo,
teacher.
it was like Mo, Luke,
Arif
Tim.
Didn't.
Yeah,
But
Mo, Luke,
is the
Tim,
four of them
and
did.
Rody. All four of them went to the same guitar teacher. All wanted to learn guitar, and then went. Well, we need like a drummer, probably.
Yeah, how the fuck are we gonna start a band with 4 guitar players?
Right.
And so we obviously see how Luke and Tim turned out. So
Yeah.
what happened, Rody?
Yeah, exactly.
What happened, bud?
I watched a clip this morning actually on YouTube. It was a.
He's actually a much better guitar player than he lets off.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I didn't know how well he could play. It was a studio session for Volition. It's just video clips of him and Cam. And Rody, I don't know how truthful this video is. It might have just been dubbed over some shit, and I got fooled. But Rody played a bass part on one of the songs. I don't know, and it's recording. I'm like, that sounds really good for someone who's just doesn't play bass
Right.
in any band. He's a singer. So I'm
You
now
can
thinking
see
about
it
it.
on
I'm
the
thinking it was
Twitch streams and
overdubbed
stuff.
or some shit. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
he's
You
a
can
lot
see it
better
on the
than
Twitch streams and stuff, though.
Yeah.
He knows how to play. He knows
Yeah.
what he's
Well, he
doing.
claims he doesn't know how to do shit, which
Yeah.
is bullshit. Because I
Yeah,
played
no, he
bass in a
does.
band, and he's better than. I mean, I don't claim to be good at all. I play fucking root notes. But like, he's
got
probably
a hell,
like years
he's
ahead of
got
me.
a hell of an ear. He's got
Yeah.
a really
Oh
good
yeah,
ear.
yes, he does.
That's my thing.
All right, enough pumping him up. Shut up.
Yeah, fuck Rody.
All right, question number
Loser.
2. What item in Luke's house got extra attention during his signature guitar announcement video?
His dildo.
Is it A, a vacuum, B, a juicer, C, an air fryer, or D, a pair of dirty underpants?
My answer was going to be none of those because I thought it was his dog.
I feel like Luke would be the kind of guy to have a very expensive and high-tech juicer. So I'm gonna go with that.
I'll say air fryer.
I'm going to go for the trick answer this time. I'm going to assume the trick question. Or no, I guess the silly answer is what I mean. The dirty underwear.
You think it's the dirty underpants?
Dirty underwear.
It's the vacuum.
None of us are right because we all
Do
fucking
you guys
suck.
remember the video
Yeah.
for Ibanez when Luke got his signature guitar, and they had
I do
that
remember
like
that, yeah.
I
very
don't remember the
quirky
vacuum, though.
dude who comes into Luke's house to interview him, and there's like Luke's guitar is sitting there, and the guy's walking like he's gonna pick it up, but he walks right past the guitar and picks up his like Dyson stick vac. And then they do like a whole 2 minutes of the guy like vacuuming different parts of Luke's house and all this stuff. And then like
I don't remember that.
He's interviewing
Yeah,
Luke.
I do remember it now. I do remember that.
He's
yeah.
interviewing Luke, and then he's sort of getting distracted, like looking over at the vacuum while Luke's talking to him because he's so interested in this vacuum. I don't know. I thought it was
That's
funny.
funny.
Okay, question number 3. According to Tim, his favorite pizza topping is what? Is it
Oh, I've
Pepperoni?
fucking seen this
Fuck.
too.
is it
Fuck, I
mushrooms?
shouldn't.
Is it onions or pineapple?
I'm positive he's against pineapple on pizza.
I'm saying mushrooms.
It's onion.
I'll say
Because onion
mushroom.
on pizza is
It's
just- you don't have
pineapple.
onions on
Everybody
pizza.
knows pineapple's the best pizza topping.
It is.
I
but
agree. It is the best.
I remember this whole conversation happened in the Discord.
He was lying.
and I was trying. What's that?
He loves pineapple on pizza. Tim
Did he
thinks
say he
pineapple on
hated it,
pizza
though?
is the best thing in the whole world.
Are you
Are
yanking our
you
chain
making
here?
these answers up?
No,
I think you're yanking our chain.
I would never lie. You can ask Tim right now. Call him up. Hey Tim, what's your favorite pizza pizza
I'm gonna
topping?
DM him.
What's his
I'm
number?
DMing him right now.
And he's gonna say,
Throw his number out.
And
he's
he'll
gonna say
answer in 4
pineapple,
days.
please.
There's for sure a photo shoot of them eating a bunch of pizza. Was there not a video?
There's
of
a
them?
whole
And they were
video
eating
of,
pizza.
of
Yeah.
Tim doing
He's
like it
a
was like supposed to be a
pizza
guitar
aficionado.
playthrough, but it's just him making pizza.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, he posts on the in the Discord sometimes. Like,
Yeah.
just fucking making some pizzas in the oven, in the
Oh
stone
yeah.
oven.
He's a pizza dude.
Oh, that's true.
And he loves
That's
pineapple
true.
on
He
pizza.
loves pizza.
According to Tim's IMDb,
Oh my.
his credits don't include which category. So I'm going to give you 4 categories, and you're going to tell me which one is not him. So, soundtrack, composer, cast, or transportation. Which one is not on his IMDb? And Muskie, no fair looking up his IMDb. I can see it in your glasses.
I ain't looking shit up. We'll keep the hands here.
What was the first one? Soundtrack?
Soundtrack, composer,
I'll say soundtrack.
cast.
I'll say soundtrack.
You think he's not on
I feel
soundtrack?
like Tim has driven some people around, you know?
Just to be different, I'll say composer, but I feel like this is going to be. Is this related to like Of Our Own Volition or something that's on IMDb?
No.
Okay, I thought it was something like that, and they weirdly didn't include them as the music for it or something.
It's cast. He was not a cast member of any production, according to his IMDb. However, he did provide soundtrack for 3 different NHL hockey video games.
That makes sense.
He was the composer for a short film, and then also transportation on a film where he basically drove people around.
He starred in Blindfolds Aside.
And a side note with that is if on all your music streaming platforms, if you go to Temerity, you can find Tim.
Find Timmy under
Tim
Temerity.
has a lot of he does piano music and he does a lot of composing, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I think he does some covers as well. He does a little bit of both. But yeah, if you go to Temerity, you can hear Tim because he's an excellent piano player.
He's great.
I think Protest should just make High Tops their PR guy.
They should.
I'm big because you see I promote like streams for friends and stuff like that too.
All the time,
I get behind my friends, man. I can get real excited
Me
for
too,
when my
especially
friends
Guitar
are doing
Zen.
stuff.
I get behind him a lot. Me and Guitar Zen go way back.
I love doing that. I get excited when my friends are doing cool stuff. I get excited and I want other people to know, you know, like I want the freaking world to be seeing it and hearing it. You know?
I think that's so
then
fucking
you tell
great.
me to fuck off. I feel the love.
Well, not you. I'm not even going to say the name of the band that you're not in anymore, but I'm not going to even say their name because fuck that band. Fuck that band.
Wow.
Fuck your identical twin brother who took your place. Fuck that band forever.
That's fucking brutal.
Oh my god, that's rough. That's rough. How are you gonna come back from that, Muskie?
I forget your brother. I forget what's your brother's name, Muskie. What's his name?
I don't know.
Mosky.
What's his name?
Huh? No, I'm gonna look.
It's Elon.
I know it's not fucking Elon. Anyway, Muskie's brother. Fuck you. Fuck you. Give him his spot back. It's his band, and you know it.
You know what? I can get behind that. He's so much better of a bass player than me too. So I can't even be upset about it.
I mean, he's the better, more talented brother. He deserves a spot. You
better looking, more talented. That's all he's got going for him, I think.
That's rough. That's a rough existence, Muskie.
Who came out first? Who's older, Muskie? Who came out first?
Me. 2 minutes.
Oh, so he's younger than you too.
Yeah.
He's younger and hotter than you.
Yep.
Does he have a bigger dick? He's got a bigger dick, doesn't he?
Yeah,
dude,
he's way
hammer.
more.
He's got a fucking hammer. Oh.
You should go get him. He's in the other room right now. He'll come to show us.
He's so awesome, dude. I don't know what to tell you.
We can have a measuring contest right here on the podcast.
Why didn't we get him on the pod?
You should have.
We should have got him on the pod.
I feel does YouTube allow dick comparisons?
Sure, if you blur it out enough.
You might get demonetized because you can't risk that because I'm assuming this is what keeps you guys in wealth, right?
Oh yeah,
for sure. This pays the bills.
Well, I mean, Fritz, you've been to Rody's house. You know it's like fucking golden toilets and shit like that.
Oh my god.
Yeah. It's like this podcast, things like Velociraptor and stuff. You guys don't realize how much that brings in.
Yeah. You don't have any idea how many golden toilets. Like, we were having lunch. There's not chairs around their dining room table. it's golden toilets.
It's just toilets.
It's just golden toilets all the way around. Everywhere's golden toilets. It's fucking insane.
When
But
Roadie's streaming, he's sitting on a golden
I
toilet.
hear a lot of that is subsidized by the Canadian government, though.
I can confirm.
It's like factor grants and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah. Well, that about wraps her up for this episode. I don't know. Like, I feel like we should, I don't know, flip a coin or something to see who gets to sign out. Or maybe you guys can all do it at the same time. If you know how to end the episode, I'll just count to 3 and you all say the thing that ends every episode. And then that'll be it. So I'm going to just go like 1, 2, 3, eat shit and go fuck yourself.
Shit, go fuck yourself.